Hey everybody, welcome back to Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. Thanks for tuning in again. We just got back to Tucson from our week-long vacation to San Diego and Anaheim. Granted, we were only in San Diego for like 3 hours, but we stopped there to visit a good friend of ours. Then we made our way to the Disneyland Resort, as you saw. Well, we actually recorded a reaction video and review of our Magicband experience. However, the audio did not turn out so good. So I'm hedging my bets here. I got the microphone going on the camera as well as an external unit. So let's kind of review the Magicbands. Our Magicband experience did get off to a little bit of a rocky start, mostly because it was kind of a weird toddler version of FOMO. We bought a Magicband for myself and my wife, who are both Magic key holders, and we bought one for our 5-year-old Henry, who had a 4-day park hopper pass, but Charlie, being 2 years old, still doesn't require admission. So we didn't buy him one at first, but he lost his mind because everybody had a watch but him. He wanted a watch. So I was like, oh man, I wish they had like a little dummy version I can buy. And it didn't occur to me until later, they do sell these little slap bracelets at Disney that I probably could have got away with, but this has a happy ending. We ended up getting him one, we just didn't connect it to anything, including the tickets or even my app itself. It was just a watch he threw on it, or a Magicband, sorry. He called it a watch, I'm calling it a watch. So the first day we actually had a decent experience to start. You know, we used them to get in the park, no problem. And it actually reacted on our first ride we went on, Buzz Lightyear. So it's kind of cool, lit up in the purple and a green that represented Buzz Lightyear towards the end of the ride and on the ride itself. So we're like, okay, cool, it's doing what it's supposed to do. And then we were sitting down at breakfast and I decided I wanted to check to see what the battery life was on mine, because the biggest thing you hear about is how they die so fast. The battery life is terrible. Well, my wife's connected just fine, showed me she had a full battery. Henry's connected just fine, showed me I had a full battery. Mine would not connect, and then my watch would turn red. I'll say it again, my Magicband would turn red, which to me suggested something that's having trouble pairing or hardware. So I disconnected, I unlinked, I factory reset, well, as close as you can to factory reset a device like this. Repaired it, relinked it, still doing the same thing. Uninstalled my app, reinstalled my app, did everything that the frequently asked questions suggested, and everything I've seen online too is suggested to do when this type of thing happens. I ended up going to City Hall. And for those of you who watched the last video, you saw this where I kind of got upset. Because it's Disney, I love Disney, I'm a huge Disney fanatic. We go as much as we possibly can, even though we don't live in the state. They said the wrong thing to me, which was, yeah, we don't guarantee they work. I am sorry about the wasted money. That's when I kind of stopped and said, well, so you're telling me you sell these, but they don't work, oh well. And the girl's like, yeah. And you can tell she was great, don't get me wrong. You can actually tell she hated saying these words to me, but she said them nonetheless. I was like, no, that's not okay. And after she took some pictures, she kept going, calling her boss, or her supervisor, I assume, back and forth. And they finally just said, hey, please take it over to the Emporium, someone's gonna try and help out with it. And if they can't get it, they said that they could possibly exchange it as long as you have the receipt. So to which, I didn't have the receipt with me. I bought it 2 days prior in downtown Disney. Didn't know I was going to bring the receipt to me because it wasn't going to work. Well, as it turned out, Michelle, who worked in the Emporium, I'll use her name because I don't want to get anyone else in trouble, but Michelle was great. She said, you know, I've seen this before, here's what I do, and whatever she did, it worked. So everything I did, which is what Disney suggested on their website, everything else did not work, but whatever Michelle in the Emporium knew how to do, it worked just fine from that moment forward. So, but I was really upset when they said, sorry about the wasted money. As much as we spend at Disneyland, especially on these attractions, like if it doesn't work correctly, cool, I know they're still developing the program, but it wasn't working at all when everyone else around me was. So that was my issue. Obviously, whatever. So we're past it, we moved on. And it worked on Buzz Lightyear, like I said. We went on the Haunted Mansion thereafter, and wouldn't you know it, it starts pulsing like a little heartbeat. So it was really cool. We're actually getting some use out of the Magicband. Like, oh my gosh, it's actually like, you know, corresponding to the rides. It's letting us get out of the park. I used it for our photo pass. Like, Magicband is working with what it should be. And we know this we're fully aware and going into this that it's not going to work with like the fireworks or any of that stuff because they said it won't work with that until January. Cool. Totally get it. Well, another positive thing was the battery life was actually great. Every night when we went back to the hotel after, you know, 9, 10, 11 hours in the park during the day, they were still either more than half full or completely full, depending on what we're using them for. Well, let's skip forward to, we go to California Adventureland, or Disney's California Adventure, DCA, I was under the impression, I don't know why I was under this impression, that they were only going to work at the Disneyland park. It actually worked more at DCA than it did in Disneyland. Why? I don't know. Some of the rides I thought it would be on, like, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, I thought it'd be cool if they start pulsating while the cannonballs are flying over your head from Barbossa's ship. You know, nothing. I ain't got nothing on Pirates of the Caribbean. But over in DCA, I really feel like most rides we went on, it lit up. And this is when we found out that Charlie's band, even though not paired or linked to any app, ticket, or device, actually was corresponding with the rides too. His started going off on web slingers, which was really cool because he went bananas. He was like, my watch is working. He kept showing everyone. He was so excited. And we talked about in an earlier video that Magicband Pluses may not necessarily be for adults, but they'd be magical for kids. You know, watching the fireworks, seeing the lights on the watch correspond to what you're seeing in the air. Like, it's really designed for kids. But watching Charlie get excited, we got excited too. And it worked pretty much all through web slingers. It worked when we got off again. It was really neat. And that night we happened to get seating for World of Color. We sat in the blue-yellow section. And during World of Color, they were just going off the whole time, corresponding perfect. I keep using that word, corresponding perfectly to what we were seeing in the water show. And at one point I noticed my wife and I both stopped watching World of Color and were just watching our magic bands. So even though we said, yeah, they're definitely for kids, as adults, we found ourselves using them too, and watching the colors and watching the dance, watching the light show, the display. It really was fun, and I'm really glad to see magic bands finally come to Disneyland Resort, as opposed to just at World of Disney, at the Magic Kingdom and Disney World. Because we got to use them there, but they were the basic magic bands getting in and out. And I think once the Magicband Pluses get to the point where we can use them as our room keys and charge things to our credit card via the Magicband, that's going to make it truly worth it. But as of right now, if you're getting them, you're an early adopter, and chances are you're a Magic key holder or just a huge Disney fanatic who goes quite a bit. Do I see them being used for like that once every 5 years trip, every few years trip, or once in a lifetime trip? I would say no. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me to do it for that. But someone who goes often, maybe twice a year, like for instance someone like us, or locals in California, or Magic key holders in California, yeah, it makes sense because a quick in and out, throw it on, have some fun, right? But overall, I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to use them again, and can't wait to see what more they do to have the Magic Bands really help enhance your park experience. Now, the pricing, anywhere from $34 up to $54, I think that's a little much. I think it should be a flat rate for all of them, whether it's design, you know, flat color, or whatever. But I had a lot of fun, and I do recommend them, especially if you do go to Disneyland often. But hey, that's our Magicband Plus review. We enjoyed it, we used it, we feel like we got our money's worth, but we did have some hiccups, but it's also growing pains. I'm fully aware of it. Even when I was upset, I was perfectly calm and fine, and hey, I get it. Things go wrong. I work in technology a little bit. However, when you said, I'm sorry about the wasted money, well, no, you got to stand by your product. And that's the comment I made to her as well. Are you telling me that Disney doesn't stand by the product they're selling to us? She goes, no, we definitely do. And that's when it turned into, okay, well, let me see what I can do for you. It is what it is. We had fun. I can't wait to use them again. So if you've used them and had a similar experience, please comment down below. Please like and subscribe for more Disney content, Tesla content, tech content, and just travel and family fun content. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for taking another ride with me. I'm glad to be home, but I already missed Disneyland. We're planning our next trip, hopefully in the not too distant future. So thanks for taking another ride with us, and hopefully we can take another ride again soon. Bye bye, everybody.